All right, so I'm not back to full-time writing or researching or whatever on the show yet, but that's coming hopefully in early March. And I had the day off, so I figured I'd sort of try to reacquaint myself with the juice here because it's been a while since I looked at any of this material. And so, I decided to read this encyclopedia entry on him from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. And so I'm just going to go right to his life. And so it talks about where he was born, March 3rd. We talked about that a little bit, right? And he was the seventh of 13 children of John Godwin, a dissenting minister. And now we're going to get all into this when I get back into it. But I was like, seventh of 13? Could it be that the juice was the seventh son of a seventh son? So I went looking, and I went to the Juice's Wikitree page. I blew it. I'm just too excited. So I went to the Juice's Wikitree page, right, to see if I could find a list of brothers and sisters. Was he the seventh son? Who were his 13 brothers and sisters, right? And it doesn't list any. All right, so I click on his father, all right, John Godwin here. And again, like I said, I did this a little bit already. It seems like forever ago. And the family name dies like just a few generations back. They don't give us very much. Right, but they only list him as the father of the Juice. All right, same with the mother. All right, go to the mother. She allegedly had 13 children with the Juice's father, but they only list William Godwin. So I was like, okay. And so I'm continuing to go through the Juice's Wikitree page, and I scroll through his biography and sources, and I try to scroll down through the whole page, and it says this, that William is 24 degrees from Nick Cannon, 31 degrees from Scatman Crothers, 24 degrees from Sammy Davis Jr., 20 degrees from Ted Lang. And if you don't know who Ted Lang is, he was Isaac from The Love Boat, right? He's 29 degrees from Meadowlark Lemon. I'm like, what is with all of these African-American entertainers being related to the Juice, right? Loretta Mabley, that's Mom's Mabley. My father used to play me Mom's Mabley records when I was a kid. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, are you kidding me? Maya Rudolph, to bring it to the modern day, like SNL and stuff. Right, Isabel Sanford, that's Wheezy Jefferson. Right, Wanda Sykes, and this Day Garwood, who I don't know. I'm like, this is unbelievable, right? So I was kind of scrolling around. It's like, how is he related to some of these people? And while looking in at Wheezy Jefferson, I saw a name that made me think of Edgar Allan Poe. And I was like, no, Edgar Allan Poe can't be related to the Juice, can he? And so I go, whoops. So what? No. See, I just can't contain it. All right, so I go to Edgar Allan Poe's Wikitree. I'm scrolling down through the history and everything. I just want to get to the goods. Right? And it says that Edgar Allan Poe is 22 degrees from Nick Cannon, 27 degrees from Scatman Crothers, Sammy Davis Jr., Ted Lang, the exact same list as the Juice. I'm like, this is insane. All right, so I put a slide together just to show you how close they are. Like the Juice is 24 degrees from Nick Cannon, Poe 22 degrees. I mean, just a couple of degrees off on all of these same people. And they do that like this way. So I'll click on, as I did with Wheezy Jefferson, right? You follow her back, right? And it goes through all these people, right? And she's related to the Shelleys. Like, are you kidding me? How is this possible? Right? William Godwin. But it starts with this. Oh, where is he? He's not on this one. Is he? See, my failing eyes. And that's even going to get better in a second. Forget it. All right, so let's see. All right, so anyway, so the common name here that I don't recognize is this Day Garwood, right? He's on the Juices, right? He's on Edgar Allan Poe's. All right, so I figured, let me check out who he is. There he is. All right. Day Pendleton Garwood. And when I saw the name Pendleton, all my fat senses went up, of course, because we have John Pendleton Kennedy, right? Who is friends with George Peabody, right? And helped build the Peabody Institute. Where is it? Right? The Peabody Library, right? He helps form the St. Mary's College of Maryland. Right? He helps preserve and found the historic St. Mary's City. And again, that's where the Jesuits landed here and founded Maryland. This is unbelievable, right? And because when I look closer at Day, all right, so I think I gathered my wits and recreated how this initial rabbit hole went here. And it started through the Edgar Allan Poe wiki tree and and clicking on Day Garwood's name here, right? How is he 24 degrees from Edgar Allan Poe? And going through, right? Archibald, to see that name, that was a big name for the Macmillans, right? And then to go forward, or deeper rather, he's connected to the Arnolds, the Benedicts. He's connected to the Arnolds of Rhode Island, Benedict Arnold, right? And Eliza Arnold, Edgar Allan Poe's mother, right? So this is how we get there. And so I want to find out more about this Day Garwood Pendleton, right? Really unbelievable. All right, and so the most unbelievable thing about him is that he's totally blind, right? He has something, and let's get to this. Whereas I'm not totally blind, but, I only have about 4 degrees or less of peripheral vision, so it's really tunnel vision for me. I see life through a straw, right? Here's his biography, right? Right, so he's born in Halifax, West Yorkshire, right? Officially registered as Damien Craig Sykes, but then re-registered with the surname Pendleton. Right? And he has a congenital condition called optic nerve hypoplasia, and I have retinitis pigmentosa. Right? And this renders him totally blind and contributing to his ADHD and high-functioning autism, borderline Asperger's. But despite these, he lives a relatively independent life. Amazing. I'm going to have to write to this guy because if he's got Asperger's or is highly functioning autism, he's got all this stuff memorized. He has to. Right? How is he connected to the Pendletons? Right? Because now that I can connect, the Pendletons to the Peabodys, to the Poes, this really all does tie together much more tightly. And now I can do it with the juice, right? Which is really unbelievable. All right. So just the way these little rabbit holes happen, I certainly wasn't expecting this today. I just was going to read a little bit more on the juice to reacquaint myself. Because again, in like 2 weeks or so, I hope to really get back to it and start, preparing the next presentation. Again, hopefully that comes soon. So remember, guys, just because you don't know the truth doesn't mean you can't have fun with the lies, right? So until the next one, cheers.
That just happened.